Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm Risa.
I'm Ariana.
And we're the Krolmeister sisters. As a reminder, this podcast is rated T for teen for strong language and mature themes.
If you don't like that, tough. Or, alternatively, you could go to her very own podcast, Unlocked. Although I'm not going to plug them too hard because they still haven't had us on. And so, the heck's with that. Oh, and they talk about Nancy Drew and stuff.
They talk about people and things.
No, they talk to people. They talk to people about things.
Yeah, but they haven't had us on yet, so,
yeah.
Petition. Hashtag interview Krolmeister sisters.
About what? We don't know.
Ask us about ourselves, okay? So what are we actually talking about today, sister?
Today, wow, we said we weren't going to talk about it again before it came out, but, to be fair, we didn't know it was going to come out in December instead. So we're going to keep talking about these mid-updates we get intermittently.
Yeah, we're going to get Midnight in Salem updates. I titled this episode, WTF Are They Doing? Parentheses, mid-updates.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that is a legit title.
That is a legit title.
So, yeah, so, where do we start? So, I'm going to start with the facts.
With the delay.
I'm going to start with the facts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Midnight in Salem was supposed to go for pre-orders on October 1st to be released on November 19th?
Yes.
20th?
I don't know. 19th.
It was either the 19th
right.
or the 20th.
Sometime
I think it's the 19th,
in there.
because
when they
was
release
the
video games.
Yeah. So that was what was supposed to happen. It was supposed to open for pre-orders at 11 a.m. Pacific time, October 1st. Mm-hmm. At, what was it, 10 a.m. Pacific time? They came on and they said that they were postponing the game by 2 weeks. So they were not going to open pre-orders until October 15th, and the game isn't coming out until December 3rd. This is, like I said, I think it was actually 3 hours before pre-order time.
Yeah. Regardless, if it's same day.
It was hours. It was within hours of pre-order time. They came out saying, no, pre-orders are not today. You guys come back on October 15th because this is great. And at that time, they dropped a teaser trailer, right? No, wait, that was on pre-order day, yeah. October 15th. They dropped they didn't give us anything on October 1st.
Just a delay.
Fuck all. Yep. So that had a lot of people who were very optimistic, saying things like, they're just trying to finish it off. They're just polishing it.
Yeah.
Some insiders on Reddit came out saying that they had been previous beta testers for the game, games just in general, and no one had been contacted yet.
Wow.
For beta testing.
I mean, that's not shocking, but we'll get into that.
Yeah. So that was the state of things. Oh, and the giveaway. We haven't even talked about the giveaway yet.
At least not on the podcast.
So, on the podcast, I am going for the record saying they now have this pre-order giveaway that's going on, where if you pre-order the game, you are entered into a sweepstakes for a bunch of Alienware stuff. Mm-hmm.
And then an Xbox controller or something like that?
Yeah, and an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
Xbox One. So they do they do that, but the issue with that is that they don't have any ways to enter the contest without a purchase, which makes this an illegal lottery instead of a sweepstakes.
Yeah.
So, that is obviously an issue. But that's besides the point.
Problematic at worst.
Yeah. Illegal at worst,
yeah,
actually.
Illegal at worst, problematic at best. My
There
apologies. My apologies.
Yeah. Illegal. Just illegal. Outright illegal. It's just illegal. And everyone who commented that on their Facebook page, had their comment hidden. So multiple people mentioned it, asking like, oh, can you give us the rules on how we can enter without a purchase? Because that's the law. And every single one that got mentioned, they hit it. So, that is a thing. When pre-orders actually opened, October 15th, they dropped a teaser trailer, not a full trailer.
Not even moving trailer.
Yeah. This is not like a full trailer. This is a teaser trailer. It's about a minute long. And it is basically just screenshots and then, like, it was made in Windows Movie Maker or something.
Oh, 100%.
Almost.
Yeah.
I don't think that's really what happened, but that's the quality of it. So, just think about that. It basically is like screenshots that they zoom in on and pan across is what it looks like. And then there's this voice acting, which everyone has kind of assumed is Olivia. That's her name, right? Yeah. Who used to be Jenna. The person who used to be Jenna.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
That's who we assume it is because it's talking about the legend and it was very dramatic. It has been confirmed to not be the new Nancy.
Okay.
We still have not heard the new Nancy.
That's...
The game comes out in 5 weeks.
Oh, sure it does. I'm so sure it's going to come out on time.
Yeah. So we're just going to have this conversation. The delay. Those were the facts. Oh, and they keep every Friday releasing more screenshots.
Yes.
Here are the
screenshots.
Yeah. So those are the facts. Delay. Let's have a conversation about the delay first. They did not let us know until within hours of pre-order opening time that it was going to be delayed. So my question is, was this really bad publicity? Like, did they handle this really poorly and they knew before and then they decided to do it right then? Or did they themselves not know it needed to be delayed until the pre-order date?
Yeah, either way presents a very big problem on her's part because we're at this point used to a lack of communication from Her Interactive. I think we've all gotten past this. They're our friend who occasionally sends us a text when they need a ride to the movie theater. But like, to just do it hours before, that's just really bad business practice. So regardless of whether they knew it or not, that sends like the worst goddamn sign to the rest of us, because either they were like, yeah, no, it's gonna be great, hey, you got the finished product? Day of. Like, hey, you guys are gonna still make that deadline, right? Okay, as far as project management is concerned, having change thrown in at this late in the game, when the end user is already supposed to be purchasing the package.
They have physical copies. I'm reminding everyone. There are going to be physical copies for this game. Mm-hmm. How the fuck are they going to get done in time to print these physical copies by release time?
It's troubling. It's troubling.
Does that mean it is something that the optimistic people are like, it's okay. They're just making this the best game they can. And that, I would rather a delayed game than a rushed game. And it's like,
sure.
True. However, this is the company that gave us, like, radio silence for 2 years. And then when it was supposed to come out, they said it was a release date. So there's a lack of trust in this relationship.
There is a real lack of trust
at this point. We are not... The good news is that it is supposed to release on Steam on the release date.
Okay, good.
So I'm not pre-ordering this game at all.
No.
I'm
like
refusing.
to see some actual gameplay.
Yeah.
Before I give them my money.
They also have explicitly said to people that the trailer will come out sometime before December 3rd.
Well,
no. They said It'll probably come out sometime before December 3rd. December 3rd is the day the game drops.
How do okay. How do people know to buy your product if, like, they're really banking on us all being unquestionably loyal to them? They are really banking on something that we are all losing. Because
there is a small subset of fans who still are.
Oh, no, there absolutely are.
Good for them. I applaud their
I admire your faith, though I do not share it.
Their skills of optimism and denial are impressive, I have to say.
Well,
the denial is just So they the teaser trailer. The music was good.
Yes, I will start. I'm going to start with, I absolutely love whoever's doing the music to this one. Yeah. It's beautiful, assuming that that's actual in-game music and they're not just fucking with us. Because at this point, again, there's not a lot of trust in this relationship. But I enjoyed the music that they put in that trailer. The music
was great. The graphics were disturbingly bad. And really dark. Everything was just really dark in that trailer. And I can't see things that have low contrast. It's, the visual snow situation going on. But God, the voice acting was also terrible. So just all in all, the voice acting was bad. We didn't hear the new Nancy, which is the fucking point. However, we did hear, what was it? Was it one of the Hardy Boys? They have confirmed.
Yes, I think so.
They have confirmed that the Hardy Boys are getting their same voice actors as has been in, that were in Labyrinth of Lies.
Okay, yeah, I would hope so. They've had the same Joe the entire time.
I know, they've never had a different Joe.
Fantastic. He's the only character that's never been replaced once. They had another Frank at one point, but
they had a lot of different Franks.
Yeah, I like our most
in Secret of the Scarlet Hand, Frank and Franklin Rose were voiced by the same person.
Yeah.
Was that game? Or it was the guy who did Franklin? Could you call the Hardy Boys?
You could not.
So it was
yes, like you could. Yes, I think you might have.
It was that guy also did Frank at one point. Also, I think they've now said that Scott Carty is also going to reprise his role as Ned, which is great because he's been Ned since he was Charlie. Yeah. So after Message in a Haunted Mansion, he became the voice of Ned. We only had a different Ned in 2 games? I don't remember.
Actually, we didn't talk to Ned in the games
Secrets
when
Can
he
Kill?
wasn't there.
We talked to him in Stay Tuned for Danger. And that's it. And that was, yes, we did. And it's a different voice, and it's really off-putting.
Oh, I didn't get that call the last time I played it. Oh no, wait, yes, I did.
You did.
Because then I was like freaking out. That's when we started okay.
That's when we started the theory that Charlie just replaced the original Ned.
Yeah.
You can talk to Ned in Secrets Can Kill, and it's horrible. Yeah. So, after that, it's been the same Ned, and he's a great voice actor. I love him.
I adore him.
He
does great.
So, that's that on the teaser trailer and the delay. Now we're going to move on to the screenshots, which they have been dropping since our last episode.
I don't know if you've gotten a chance to look through our notes. I got a little screen snap happy.
I know. I added some too. But the screenshots they've been sharing with us since our last, the last time we talked about Midnight in Salem, we had only seen 2 screenshots of the interior and the exterior of the Perry house. Perry?
Yes.
Okay, of the Perry house. I was like, Paris? Perry.
Not anymore.
Yeah. So that was the only stuff we'd seen last time we talked to you guys about it. They started dropping character renders as well as environments, and they just got progressively worse.
Yeah.
And on every single one, it says, the render is not final. This is not the final render. Something like that. every single time for a game that's supposed to come out in December. But the thing is that someone on Reddit looked into it and they really did a deep dive into those files themselves and found out that some of them were created in 2016, 2017, and 2018.
Really?
Really. So, these are old, some of these are really old screenshots.
Oof.
So that means either they had screenshots to share with us and didn't, or they were not provided these screenshots until now.
Yeesh. Okay. This brings up a few very troubling things. If we were being shown this, if they had, okay. First of all, okay. Whew. I'm sorry. I'm a little overloaded here. Wow. Okay. So first of all, if this is the best that they had, that's troubling. Because, or if like they knew that they were older screenshots and they gave them to us because the new stuff is not good yet, but this was good enough to give to us, that's troubling. If they still just don't have access to it, that's also troubling. Woof. Because I was trying to figure out why they look nothing like the character designs that we got.
Some of them do. I mean, the thing, concept art, we never get exactly the concept art when we get rendered characters.
But it's usually at least close.
Only one who looks like his concept art is Judge I've Lost the Will to Live Danforth. God.
Well, even then, I think they made his hair darker, they made him a little younger, but
they made everyone younger.
They also gave him liver spots along his hairline.
That's the kind of detail we're looking for.
That's the detail we're looking for.
We're like, yeah, we want to make sure this old guy has liver spots.
Yeah.
That's how it's realistic. So, the screenshots. There are a number of incredibly generic outdoor screenshots, just to start with. The carriage house one is my absolute least favorite because it looks nothing like a carriage house. We've had a carriage house before in Secret Clock.
Yeah, they know what it looks like, or,
We're just on her interactive page for Midnight in Salem.
You can go to the bottom. There's a whole thing.
Yeah.
You click on one of the screenshots,
you
can just cycle through them.
And then if you want to look at the character concept art again, you click on character bios, and that shows you what they were supposed to look like. So there's a bunch of outdoor shots and interiors and stuff that look like, they look like bought assets. They just look like bought assets.
They do. They look like... some of them have, like, the stick quality of, honestly, of Skyrim. The game which was made, which...
That's
keeps getting updated
2011.
to be beautiful, but that was made in 2011.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of... It's what a lot of us have been saying, and a lot of us have been then told we're being demanding. And what was the thing someone said?
Oh.
Not just... Someone on Twitter said what did they say?
Overcritical?
Maybe. It was something like that. It was like, oh my god, we have been waiting for 4.5 years for this game. But this... God, I wish they would just learn where the sun is. Honestly, the lighting in all of these are terrible. For one thing, they're lacking the proper occlusion, so that things look like they're floating.
Oof.
Just, they look like they're floating. And the bad thing is the textures are just terrible.
Yeah.
And they haven't been properly mapped to the objects. So you get things like, or just the rigging as well on the character art is really bad. Oof. And when we get to talking about the characters, I will talk about Lauren and her braids, or are they twists? Which are they? I don't know. They look like when I was 12 and tried to draw braids.
I was gonna say, that Cabbage Patch doll I had, that I would braid her yarn hair?
Yes.
That's what it looks like.
A little bit. But, yeah, let's talk about let's talk about the environmental screenshots first, and about how very sad they are.
I would like to, because we did bring up lighting, I would like to say, I was sitting at my computer just, like, yelling at it. Like, randomly, out of nowhere. We were just... Anyway, we were just sitting there, and I'd be like, what the fuck is this? And so finally, I gave up, and I started showing my boyfriend. And he was particularly mad about the shadows.
Yeah, they're not attached to anything.
They're not. And in certain cases, they, like, weirdly extend where the actual object does not. Like, there's extra parts of a branch where there isn't on the tree. And
it's because there's probably different, like...
And not to mention that
they bought
bush...
an asset. They bought an asset that has several different settings, basically. Mm-hmm. And the shadows are only for one of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
woof.
Yeah. Oh God, the textures to me are the worst part of it, because it really does look like a lot of these things they took a 2D picture and then just, or they took a 3D picture and just kind of like pasted it on something that's 3D.
Yes.
And that's what like the leaf piles are. It's like a picture of leaves.
It's like a really poorly done diorama where you just put like a little piece of paper and you like have it standing up by folding it on itself and taping it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it looks like.
And then you print out a picture from Google and paste it to that in your diorama. Yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like. And are we being overcritical here? Yes. Because the thing is, everyone keeps saying, gosh, but they had to change engines and such. No, because
didn't.
This was obviously outsourced, and it was obviously outsourced to a country outside, like a different country. It's I'm just going to point out in the Lauren screenshot, the donuts, it's the price has 3,75 instead of 3.75.
You are correct.
And they also spell donuts in the way that Americans don't spell donuts.
Yeah.
We spell it D-O-N-U-T-S, and this has it spelled like dough, D-O.
Yeah. I don't know. You do get your odd, like, place where they take it really seriously, which I could see that being the case here, where they're like, we just make, like... I don't know, organic and like, you know, that sort of thing, where they're, like, really proud of it. So they're like, no, it's not a donut like Dunkin' Donuts. This is a pastry art, you know?
Yeah.
I could see that.
But the 3,75, the thing about that is that pretty much every country that isn't English-speaking does their prices like that.
Yes.
So what that means is either... this is a typo on an officially released screenshot, or it was outsourced. I tried to say exported. It was outsourced to a country that doesn't speak English, doesn't know, and didn't do any research on America.
Yeah.
So those are our two options.
Just the most minute bit of research, which is... So they laid off... I'm sorry. Okay. I'm going to go into this. They laid off all of those artists that they had so that they could outsource it to be cheaper, look like absolute shit, have completely wrong information on it that doesn't even fit America, so that we know they outsourced it to another goddamn country.
Which, outsourcing to another country is great. If you give it to them, yeah, it's fine. That's a completely fine way of doing it. But the thing is... then Her Interactive is no longer a game studio. It is now just a publisher. Like, let's just straight up say it. They're not making games. And everyone who comes in saying, well, they had to learn a new engine. And they outsourced it to a company who supposedly knew how to work in Unity. So the fact that we're getting this means either they didn't pay enough. Like, they did not put enough budget into this. Or they gave it to people who just don't care and are just churning it out because they needed it in a short amount of time. Because the thing is, we've already said that we're pretty sure that they rewrote the game since the beginning of this year. After 4 years to spend on this fucking game, They have done it in 10 months instead. And that's why it looks like shit. But the thing is, if the screenshots are from fucking
2016,
then I'm just so confused. Because 2016 was when they were releasing the character art bomb. Remember that?
And none of the characters looked like this.
Exactly. So I'm thinking maybe the environment shots are from 2016, and then the character shots are from more recently, like 2018. Yeah. That's so. No matter what,
because if nothing else, what's his name? Yeah. The kid looks nothing like
Jason Danforth.
Yeah, Jason. That's it.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah, Justin Bieber. With really bad airbrushing. Yeah, he looks airbrushed. What is that? He also looks 14, so apparently they aged him way the fuck down.
They started him at like 10 in the original game premise. Mm-hmm. He was like 10 and got tricked into there.
When he was 10, something happened.
No. That was the thing that happened. It was 10. Mm-hmm. He was a kid. He got lured into the building and the building went on fire. Mm-hmm. And the kid said all he remembered was like ghostly eyes or whatever. Mm-hmm. Remember? So that was the original premise. And then they aged him up and now he's like, in the character art, he looked like he was in his 20s. He had a fucking Rolex on and everything. He
looked like he was in a frat. That's what he looked like.
He looked like he was a college student. And now in this render, he looks like he's 14 or 15.
Yes. And wearing paper doll clothing.
Oh, God. So his fucking sweater, okay? He has a popped collar and a sweater draped over his shoulders. That sweater draped over his shoulders is molding to him, so which means it's been rigged incorrectly, or the model itself, like, it wasn't,
Like, literally, so just look at the arm we can see.
It looks like a vest instead of a sweater.
It does. I actually, until you said something about it
thought it was a vest?
I thought it was a vest on top of a, like, long sleeve undershirt thing.
Another thing about all the screenshots that's really bugging me that you picked up on is that it kind of looks like everything is orthographic instead of actually in real, like, perspective. Mm-hmm. So we get things where, like, the hay bale defies the laws of, like, perspective.
It curves instead of going at a diagonal.
And it doesn't, how it's positioned, it makes no sense. Right?
Yeah.
All of the fucking, nothing looks like it's the right scale.
Mm-mm. Oh, yeah, no.
Like we said in the interior of the Perry house, the counters are lower than the table.
Low.
So
I looked at them again earlier and I was like, oh my God, they're even lower than I remembered them being. They're just so like...
Yeah, nothing is, like, scaled appropriately for people. Like, especially in the shots that have people in them, we have things like Lauren holding a cup.
I have so many problems with this cup. Is this the first time she's holding a cup? Because that's not how people hold cups.
Ah, yes. I hold my solo cup by the rim where my thumb is not on the actual cup.
Additionally, that cup looks like, you know when you take a solo cup and you, like, cut the top part off of it, and so it's just, like, that little, like, maybe half of it? That's what it looks like.
It does. It looks like half a cup, and it's really, really weird. It's just, And I'm just gonna dive right into Lauren, which is by far the worst screenshot we've gotten so far.
It is egregious.
The screenshot is bad enough that people who have been defending her interactive and this game have now gone, oh, this looks bad. Like, there are, like, of the people who are still just furiously defending, probably about 75% of them have now gone, oh, wait. Because at first on the Twitter post, they had not a single positive reply. Within like 2 hours of posting it, there was still not a single positive reply. Now there's that person who's like, you guys are just being overcritical and super demanding. And it's like, The game has been in production for 4 fucking years. This screenshot of Lauren looks like...
hot garbage?
It looks like hot garbage.
Yeah.
The model itself is poorly rigged. Mm-hmm. The textures are terrible, and the lighting makes no sense.
You know what I'm realizing just now?
Are you looking at her eyes?
Oh, no, I've noticed her eyes immediately. Those are terrifying.
Okay,
no, I'm noticing the cup doesn't have a shadow.
It does not.
And her fingers
Yeah, she just has, you can see her fingers in the shadow. The cup's not there. She's pretending to hold a cup.
She's magic! Witch! Burn her! It's part of it.
Oh,
That's
God.
it.
And it's just...
They're expecting us to find these clues. They're actually geniuses, sister.
Oh, God. It looks so bad. The texture of her braids are first of all, the braids are clipping through her jaw.
Yeah.
One of her braids is clipping through her jaw. So
That's great. That's again Skyrim level. That's what that looks like.
And then it looks like all of the textures were mapped to the model at a specific angle. And so the fact that her head is turning means that it is stretching those vertices basically on the model. So it looks like, talking to my boyfriend who does modeling, who does game modding, he knows how it all works. He says it looks like her braids were rigged to her at her forehead and then on specific parts on her shoulders. So when she turned her head for this, since they turned her head for the screenshot, it just stretched those models basically of her braids.
So that explains
twists.
the weird little angle on that one braid. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. If
so
you guys aren't looking
braid,
at the picture, one of her braids is in a complete 90-degree.
Yeah.
Which is not what braids usually do.
No. And I'm also still very confused as to what they're trying to do with her hair. Because it does not look like braids, but it also doesn't look like twists. No. So
I
went
with braids because it seems... Additionally, there's anyway, okay. Yeah, we'll keep...
Let's just go also into the fact that they lightened her skin considerably.
They did?
From the character... From the second concept art they put out, she was a very dark-skinned black woman. Mm-hmm. And I was loving that. Because they've never really had a dark-skinned black woman or black person at all in the games.
Yeah.
They've all been relatively light-skinned.
Yeah.
So I was very excited for that. And now they've lightened her skin. And they obviously don't know how black skin works because she is being... The lighting is bad. Same with Alicia Cole.
It's really... It's... The light is bouncing off her skin like it's porcelain. Like my porcelain dolls is what it looks like.
She's shiny. She's shiny.
It's shiny, but it's also... it's the wrong texture. That's not what skin looks like.
No. Which wasn't as bad to see on, Judge Danforth and Jason Danforth are also pretty shiny, but it's not as noticeable because their skin is so light.
Yeah, well, because, with Jason, it's really more of the airbrushing going on in his forehead and in his cheeks that's weirdly rendered. I have no idea what's going on there. It's like they didn't know quite how to shadow him, and so there's a shadow appearing on his cheek out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's bad. And then Lauren, and she's got black spots on her eyes.
Yeah, what are those?
Her eyes are shadowing themselves. And then in the, what's it called? The corner of her eye?
Yeah.
Towards the middle.
The tear duct area?
Yeah, I don't remember. There's a specific name for it.
But
right there, it's this shine, she's getting a highlight there. And I don't know why.
Maybe she's supposed to have some glitter eye makeup going on because it's kind of happening on the other side of her. I can excuse that as maybe makeup.
Yeah. I will in fact state that I just rewatched a playthrough of Life is Strange. And their eyes also don't look very good and are really weird and glassy. And that's kind of what this is reminding me of. Her eyes are weird and glassy. And so they're not taking shadows right. But Life is Strange started coming out in what, 2013, 2014?
That sounds right.
It finished in 2015 is what I know. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it came out in 2015. I don't know. I don't know time anymore. Time doesn't make linear sense.
What's time, really?
Jeremy Bearimy. Just watched the most recent Good Place episode. Yeah. So it's in my brain.
Employee of the Bearimy.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's the character art.
Yeah.
We should try to start wrapping up pretty soon.
Look at how pretty they textured Judge Danforth's sweater. I mean, it's doing a weird, like, TV screen thing. Where, you know, those old, like, TV screens? And so it's got, like, the lines, and they're kind of, like, separating funky.
Yeah.
They didn't texture anything. That is honestly my biggest problem looking at all of these. There is no blending whatsoever. Fine, they're purchasing assets. I don't like that in the slightest, but at least try to make it work. There are repeating tiles. There are objects that the only difference is they've been scaled and not well.
Yeah.
Like those bushes in that hallway that are just the same bush with the same little point, the same little, like, groupings. The only difference is they're being compressed as it goes further back.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that if you buy pre-made assets, that's perfectly reasonable. Mm-hmm. That's a reasonable thing to do for small things.
Yeah.
You know, for things that aren't the main focus. You know, the main focus of the situation.
Yeah.
The scene.
But even, okay. Even if they're not the main, okay, so let's go back to this picture of Jason. Wherein one of the piles of leaves behind him, which don't get me started on the other piles of leaves that look like horse
The Sims
feed?
2.
They look like horse
Sims
feed.
2. Ariana. The Sims 2. How all of they were on
That's
the
exactly
floor.
what it looks like, because it also would at a certain point have this square bit of leaves when the leaves would start to populate. If you look down next to his arm, there is a pile of leaves in a perfect rectangle because they got cut off because nobody bothered to blend anything.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So also pre-made assets, right? Bought assets. Mm-hmm. The way you can make them not look like the same thing over and over again is you rotate them. You put them in slightly different places, right? You make it not regular. Mm-hmm. Because then you stop noticing it and your brain just kind of goes over it, right? Mm-hmm. You just don't notice. Whereas it's like floor in the linoleum that's supposed to look like tiles in real life, right? Look at your fucking bathroom floor or kitchen floor and you'll see what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. It looks like tiles, but it's a repeating pattern. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that there are like 4 to 6 in the pattern. Mm-hmm. So you don't notice it.
And they because rotate them.
Your brain doesn't see them as repeating.
I mean, mine does, but that's a totally different issue.
With enough variety, you don't notice it.
Yes.
Whereas what they've done is taken one tree and populated an entire town square with that one tree.
Yes.
And didn't rotate them, didn't do anything to them.
Didn't shade them differently, just...
No. There's no different texture on them or anything like that.
The same limb in the same place.
Yep. Just some very, very, like... Some tree grower was there making sure to shape them as they were growing.
Yeah.
To make them look like that. So they would be uniform. Yeah. You know, the city of Salem just wants everything to be nice and uniform.
Yeah. They're just looking for uniformity, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, let's try and wrap it up.
Yeah.
They did release the official Midnight in Salem theme. which sounds fantastic.
It
it sounds spooky. It sounds mystical. It's lovely.
It does.
They did not originally credit the composer in their YouTube description.
They did not.
Enough people had to ask, who is this? Who did it? And then they added his name.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so they didn't credit their own fucking composer. So, that's really shitty. That's just like, it's because it's like they're acting like they don't, it's like they're acting like they've never done this before. And that is just so frustrating.
This is a seasoned company being turned into amateur hour, and I don't know why. Maybe the games have looked a little funky in the past, and we can go back and laugh at them. We can laugh at Rachel's arm suddenly being across the room. We can go back and laugh at that stuff. It's fine. We appreciate it because a lot of love went into that. You can see the character art being lovingly done. It's not formulaic. It's not, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Anyway, it looks factory made rather than lovingly designed.
Copy and pasted. Mm-hmm. And yes, they did go through a reform. In the end of 2014 or the beginning of 2015, they laid off their entire creative department.
Yeah.
Which
so good. Such a good idea when you're designing stuff. Lay off your entire creative department. They
decided to switch game engines. They decided to switch to Unity. And Penny, it's been some people who used to work there went on Reddit, anonymously said what happened, basically. Mm-hmm. And they were there as Penny said things in board meetings like, well, we can just buy assets, so we don't need artists anymore.
Because...
Yeah. Yeah. So, my advice to Her Interactive right now, if you're going to buy assets, buy good assets.
Yeah, for real.
Like,
don't skimp. If you're going to buy assets, buy assets. Don't go to the dollar store and find the misshapen toys.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really... yeah. So, do we have a positive note to try and leave this on?
I really don't. I really don't, because like I got very angry as I was looking at all the specs and everything.
Yeah. Which, side note, it's 8 gigabytes.
8 gigs,
which is 6 gigabytes more than Sea of Darkness was.
Yes, but we're supposed to have like a really, really good engine. Yeah. That's the whole point of changing the engines. Yeah. So that they can have a better game.
Unity is a really slim engine, to be honest. And it's something that you can do a lot with. And then, remember how they said that they're switching to Unity so they could do cross-platform stuff, which is what Unity is for. Unity, you can use it on mobile, you can use it on console, you can use it on computer.
Hence
right?
the title, Unity.
Unity. It's great. But they are not actually going to be releasing the game on console immediately. What the fuck is the point of doing it in Unity if you're not going to do simultaneous releases?
Because it doesn't make any sense. Does this mean they're not doing it in Unity anymore?
No, they definitely are. It says so on the page.
Okay, it also said when it was supposed to come out. So I don't trust anything that's being said on the page. Crackpot theory here. I'm putting my tinfoil hat on and saying... It's not in Unity anymore.
I think it is.
It's in some knockoff brand.
No, but
prove I'm wrong, and we'll talk.
I mean, they'll say it was made in Unity. The thing about it is that, like, if you want to know the way that a lot of the stuff...
It looks like Unity, but it's actually Unity.
But in the teaser trailer, they show an object being held up and rotated, and that's a very Unity thing to be doing. Unity games, there are a lot of like touchscreen Unity games that are really good.
Yeah, they do point that out in the specs.
It reminded me of The Room, which is a really good puzzle game. It's not very long. It's like 2 or 3 hours, but it's also pretty cheap.
Yeah, it reminded me of what, every game does these days, which is...
Yeah, which is pick things up and let you rotate them, which is fine. I enjoy that.
It's nice. It's a nice touch.
So that, it definitely looks... Yeah, it definitely looks like Unity. I didn't like what they showed us of the puzzles. It was kind of weird. And what was I going to say? Oh, but if you want to also look at other games that were also done in Unity, so like The Room, Life is Strange Before the Storm is in Unity. Like Life is Strange 1 and 2 are in Unreal Engine, but Before the Storm is in Unity.
Dream Daddy is in Unity, but that's a different thing entirely, so...
I mean, but that's the versatility of Unity.
It is the versatility.
You can do so much stuff with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they made a huge mistake on trying to go realistic on it. Because what they're doing would really support a painterly style much more. Like Life is Strange.
Yeah.
Like, that's what makes Life is Strange not look bad.
Yeah, they could...
Because everything's very painterly. They don't try and make everything look realistic, and that's why everything works, even though a lot of the actual models are pretty low poly in some places, which is fine. That makes a game run faster if things are low poly, but you have to have good textures to make that work.
Yeah.
So, also, yeah, I will just plug, play Life is Strange. It's just fun, and it's the time of year for it. And you can be a lesbian. Are they going to make lesbian Nancy Drew? Probably not.
Absolutely not. They are absolutely not. They're also not going to talk about Nazis. But let's just... That's for another time.
Okay, so this has been our What the Fuck Are You Doing? Her interactive episode.
Yes.
We will try not to talk about Midnight in Salem again until we've played it. And then we will, if it exists. Yeah. And then we'll give you guys a review.
If we play it.
If we play it. If it exists.
I would like to play it, regardless of its quality. Yeah. But, if it doesn't exist, it's going to be really difficult to do.
I do not want to buy it digitally through Digital River.
No, absolutely not.
They've been sneaking extended download things into people's carts without saying. So, if you're going to pre-order it or buy it digitally at all, make sure you do not accidentally buy the extended download service.
Yeah.
So, because it's like $6 or something like that. Okay, so if you would like to talk to us about how you feel about how Her Interactive is running things right now, feel free to talk to us on our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and our fancy website, KrolmeisterSisters.KnifeFightClub.com.
You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. And there you can leave us reviews and let people know how good we are, because we're good.
Yeah, interview us, bitches. Sorry.
Interview us after we've just trashed your parent company for like an hour.
Whatever. It's fine. You'll edit this one, right? Because tomorrow's my birthday.
Yes, I was planning on editing it because I
will be moving.
Can't get you a present right now.
Yeah, birthday present of editing.
Birthday present of editing.
You guys can subscribe to us on Twitch to get access to our cute little wine glass emote, as well as podcast night VODs for subs. Or you can support us on Patreon and be able to tell us what to talk about. Get stream cat pictures, mostly weekly, sometimes bi-weekly.
Sometimes she's just too cute and you can't do just one.
No, I mean bi-weekly is the every other week.
Oh, okay. Sometimes she doesn't want to be cute.
Sometimes I forget because I'm a person. As well as you can also get podcast night VODs there.
Yeah.
So as a reminder, I'm Risa.
And I'm Ariana.
And we're the Krolmeister Sisters. And we're asking you guys to stay sleuthy.